Hello everyone, welcome to the What If Anime YouTube channel. Today, we are diving into an exciting new story that will take your imagination to the next level. Let's get started. What if Naruto was demigod Maelstrom of Olympus and got harem with goddess Annabeth and Thalia? Location: Hell's Kitchen, Manhattan, New York. It was a cool October evening as a blonde-haired and blue-eyed father and son duo were walking back to their home from the park. Unknown to the two that they were being watched, the two arrived at a cafe and bookshop known as Nexus, but also the HQ for Paranormal Investigation Agency. The place was quite big as shelves held books on both human and spirituality with creatures of all kinds. The cafe part was a simple bakery with goodies as well as the place to hire. Minato looked at the window as he spotted a man cross the street. His hair was greasy and ragged, the color of fireplace soot, topped with a crown of what looked like finger bones. His robes were tattered fur wolf, rabbit, raccoon, deer, and several others. The furs didn't look cured. His frame was lithe and muscular, like that of a distance runner. He had pale skin pulled tight over his skull. His teeth were sharpened like fangs. His eyes glowed bright red. Minato growled as the father of the werewolves stood across the street as wolves began to show up. "Daddy," Naruto said, looking at his father. "It's going to be fine," Minato said as the door of the cafe was broken into as several rounds of gunfire went off as the sounds of wolves howling pain before being silenced. Minato took them into his office as he pressed a button as weapons and armor appeared, quickly taking everything before quickly putting on a full-body silver samurai armor that was decked out with blades on his arms, legs, and hands, with a full-face helmet covered in silver. Soon wolves began making their way up the stairs. As Minato had placed Naruto in a deep sleep before placing him inside a scroll sealing him away as he sealed away the scroll inside his chest. Just wolves broke into the office as the wolves met a gruesome end, as he tore through the waves of wolves. Making his way back down to his store, he grabbed a scroll before opening it, as black flames appeared as wolves began catching on fire, burning to ashes, causing the store to go up in flames, as even the water couldn't put out the flames. He grabbed several jars of liquid methanol before throwing said into the flames, causing the massive fire to become more deadly, causing the black flames to turn invisible, doing more damage to the store. He made the garage as he hopped on his motorcycle, drove off and shot the giant propane tank, causing the store to go up in a massive explosion. Lycaon watched in horror as his wolves were being killed by a mere mortal. He was about to run towards the store, only to be blasted back by the explosion. Growling, he ran away as sirens were getting louder as emergency vehicles heading towards the store. After a few minutes, the metal armor began slowly becoming a silver bodysuit as he raced across from Hell's Kitchen to Long Island, going 168 miles per hour before slowing down in Union Port, as he hit a hole under a dark underpass and turned off the motorcycle. Police drove past. Once it was clear, he unsealed the scroll from chest and freed his son, before waking up and took off his armor, and gave it to him before taking off again with his son in front, as he still was driving fast, but not too fast to catch the attention of police. They made it to Long Island as howls of wolves started to get louder as they approached Camp Half-Blood. Minato sighed as he knew he wouldn't make it, but his son had a chance. "Naruto, listen to me, I'm going to be right behind you, okay? But I need you to keep going on the motorcycle." "Dad." "Naruto, go," Minato said. Naruto left his father, but soon heard his father yell in pain as the sound of an explosion was heard, causing Naruto to fly through the gates and to be thrown off the bike as the campers ran out several cabins armed with different kinds weapons as they ran past him to gates as the sound of hooves. Looking up, he saw a middle-aged man from the waist up, with thinning brown hair, bushy eyebrows, intense brown eyes and a scruffy beard, with the lower half being that of a white stallion. "Jiren, are there werewolves heading this way?" a camper yelled out. Only for being that of a devil with welding giant silver swords, as giant horse-eyed wolf blindsided him as it bit down on the demon's armor, only to be stabbed in the eye by the demon. Minato knew his form was giving out. Looking at his son, gave a sad smile before pulling out 4 small veils before crushing them, as the wolf let go, causing an explosion, sending a massive shock wave. Naruto watched in horror as his father sacrificed himself to protect him. Daddy. He called out as he was about to run, only to be held back by a gentle yet firm hand on his shoulder. He's gone, young one. Daddy, PLC, don't leave me. The boy cried out as he passed out. 3 days later, Naruto woke up as the horseman walked into the tent. My name is Shiren. I'm the camp's activities director and trainer of heroes, the centaur said. Naruto stayed quiet as he wrapped his arms around himself in comfort. Come, I'll show you around, the centaur said, holding out his hand. Naruto got up and followed Shiren, stepping outside. Several campers looked at Naruto as he walked beside Shiren. Sir, what's this place? Naruto asked. Half-blood, Shiren said. Naruto stayed quiet and dropped his head. Shiren didn't know what to say to the boy. What's your name? Naruto Namikaze, Naruto said. Naruto, it wouldn't be wise for you to leave camp. Monsters like werewolves are tricky and clever enough to wake you out, and right now you're not ready to fight something like werewolves or anything else, Shiren said. So, when can I leave? Naruto asked. Give it a few years, but I'll be teaching you everything you need to survive both camp and the outside world. Naruto looked around and saw several kids older than him. Kinda made him nervous. 3 years later, the 9-year-old Naruto was sitting in the big house in a room that had several desks in several rows. Naruto was currently studying the history of Greece. Can anyone tell me who gave Heracles the Anaclosmos? Kryan asked. Naruto raised his hand faster than the eye could catch. Shiren smiled. Yes, Naruto. So, it was during her time when she tended to the garden of the Hesperides with her sisters, caring especially for Hera's tree of golden apples. Unlike her sisters, she seemed to have a special bond with Ladon, whom she actually fed by hand. Later on, Zoe helped Heracles complete his quest for the golden apples, giving him tips on how to trick her father Atlas, and giving him her hairpin, which could transform into a sword named Anaclosmos. When her sisters discovered this, they exiled her. Heracles ultimately gave Zoe no credit for her help, and abandoned her to her fate. As a result, she came to hold a grudge against male heroes, which only festered after she joined the Hunters of Artemis. Eventually, she rose to become the Lieutenant of Artemis. Naruto said, knowing a fair bit due to the stories he read, and some of which Zoe's had filled in when Artemis dropped her hunters off. Well done, now tell me, what are your thoughts? Shiren asked. On? Naruto asked. The lesson. Naruto nodded his head. Hera forced him to kill his wife and kids because of her jealousy, but I can't see how a sister could let her brother rape her and sleep with every woman he sees. I won't put it past him to break the oath he made with his brothers. Shiren raised an eyebrow but let Naruto continue. But that's beside the point. Heracles is a god, but I won't put it past him to cheat on a sweet goddess like Hebe. Well, mortal, he was given a poor hand in life, but also he did great feats, but he also had flaws. I mean, there's a lot from sleeping with women, cheating, and there's probably more. But that's my opinion. There may be more to the stories, but everything I found was more or less Zeus, Hera, his own fault. Shiren looked at Naruto. Do you hate him? I can't say, as he was a great demigod and losing what he had by his own hands, no. But the choices he made I can't agree with, but like I said, he had flaws. Naruto said with anger in his voice. Is something on your mind? I just don't understand why we have to be punished. I wanted to be able to live with a father that could love me as a son, but instead I got that taken away. Naruto said as his power flared and hit his desk, cracking it. Sometimes, love brings out the worst in us. Shiren said. I suppose that's true, but sometimes so does messing someone up at a young age. Naruto said. Revenge only brings more pain. Shiren said. I know, but I can't help it. Naruto mumbled as the bell ranged. Naruto, a word please. Shiren said. Naruto stopped. Shiren, please, I'm just not feeling well. I'll deal with the punishment later, but I just want to clear my mind. I feel there is going to be a mass attack and a death that will tip the balance of power. Naruto said, walking away. Naruto, I hope you're not the one that the prophecy spoke of. Shiren thought, watching Naruto walk away. Near the lake, Naruto sat staring at the lake. Who am I really? I feel like I belong, but I'm more different than any other demigod. I feel the chose in the world, along with the hope it needs. Poseidon, please help me. I feel like your untamed waves I can't calm down. Naruto said, watching the waves. I'm scared of my powers. Unlike others who accept this life. I know my mother wanted me, but living this life I can't accept this. One mess up I feel like the world would end, and I don't mean figuratively. I can't explain it, but hope I'm wrong. He stood up and walked away from the waves. As he walked away, a woman with long white hair and electric blue eyes with 3 rings with 3 tomos blue pupil, with a silver floral pattern. She appeared behind a tree as she wore a high-collared hime kimono which has tomos running down the center, and edges of the gown adorned with intricate gold and purple lines. Naruto, I'm sorry, but one day I hope you'll forgive and understand why I chose you. I hope you find the light before it's too late. Kagaya thought before vanishing. It was a late night as Naruto sat staring at the full moon. Artemis, Selene, Hecate, help me rest my soul through the night. Guide me to the land of dreams. My day of hunting is now complete, let the hunt of dreams take. Thyla, someone yelled. Naruto ran to the gate. Mother, give me a chance to take what is rightfully mine without being claimed. Oises, grant me the power of your suffering. Moros, grant the power of your doom. Momos, let me take no blame for what I do. Eris, grant me the power of strife. Nemesis, let me take retribution on my foes. And Cures, let my carnage and the violent deaths by me be my sacrifices to you. Naruto prayed. Naruto felt the acceptance of the gods and goddesses before taking off to help. He saw a satyr with curly brown hair, brown eyes, small horns, Caucasian skin, a wispy beard and hairy brown goat legs. Followed by teen boy the age of 14 with short cropped sandy blonde hair, blue eyes, and athletic and muscular build, who held the hand of a 7-year-old girl with long curly blonde hair. She looked like a typical California girl, with stormy gray eyes. What shocked him the most was what they were running from. As an army of monsters from the underworld, including the Furies, were after them as a 12-year-old girl with shoulder-length, spiky black hair, electric blue eyes, and freckles across her nose. The girl stood ready to fight. Mother, give me your strength. Naruto called out and disappeared from the sight of the 2 demigods and the satyr, and stood next to a 12-year-old girl. The girl turned to the boy next her as pitch-black fire shot out of his hands with knives of some kind at the front, with the black flames covering and following them, as one hit a hellhound and Lycaon, piercing them both in the chest. What really shocked her was when the flames died out, there were 2 black chains. Get over here, Naruto said, yanking both the chains, sending both the werewolf and hellhound flying towards him. Naruto disengaged the chain that was hooked by the hellhound as he ducked under the said creature and killed it by taking off the head. The werewolf yanked the chain, sending Naruto flying at it. The werewolf swung a clawed hand only for it get ripped apart as chains exploded out of the creature's body. Black flames began to swirl around him as some began to cover his body. Thyla watched as the 7-year-old tear through monster after monster like no there was no tomorrow. Until a cyclops hit him with a celestial bronze club, sending the boy back into camp. Thyla watched the boy get sent flying. She fought with all she had, but was quickly overrun as hellhounds surrounded her for attacking her. Thyla screamed in pain as they tore into her body. She felt a dark menacing power as a red flash of light turned the hellhounds to dust, but felt her life fade away. The last thing she saw was a blonde hair boy. Naruto held Thyla's body as a small pine tree grew where he sat as he felt Zeus's power take Thyla's soul and place her soul in the pine tree. Naruto clenched his fist as he yelled out as a shock wave destroyed the army as he passed out. Naruto found himself in a throne room as a woman with long white hair and electric blue eyes with 3 rings with 3 tomos, blue pupil, with a silver floral pattern. She appeared behind a tree as she wore a high-collared hime kimono which has tomo running down the center, and edges of the gown adorned with intricate gold and purple lines. She stood with a tall, handsome man with blue eyes, a youthful face, and slicked back white hair. He is shown to have worn a purple Victorian outfit with a white cravat, a large red jewel around his neck, and an eye patch over his left eye. The 7-year-old looked around. 10-tailed animal-like creatures appeared next to the woman protecting her, as 2 gaunt rabbits stood in front of him. The one on his right was black, but had a white sun-like mark on its forehead, while the one on his left was white, with a black crescent moon on its forehead. Naruto started to make his hellfire chains until the woman spoke up. Yin Yang play nice, he's still my son after all. Son? Naruto asked. Yes, and is Sparta, your grandfather? The woman said. What are you the goddess of again? Naruto asked. The guy smirked. Goddess of creation, destruction, time, space, life, death, destiny and fate, as well as the goddess of dimensions and goddess of the 6 paths. 6 paths. Yes, they're known as the Diva Path, Asura Path, Human Path, Animal Path, Preta Path and Naraka Path. So what do these paths do? The Diva Path grants you the ability to manipulate attractive and repulsive forces with objects and people. The Asura Path grants you the ability to augment your own body to summon mechanized armor and various ballistic and mechanical weaponry. The Human Path grants you the ability to read the mind of any target by making eye contact or placing your hand on the target's head or chest and yanking the soul out of the body. The Animal Path grants you the ability of summoning various animals and creatures to aid you better traveling. The Preta Path grants you the ability to absorb the powers of demigods, monsters, titans and gods. The Naraka Path grants you 2 main abilities. Interrogation and restoration, by using the gates of hell, and the last one, known as the Outer Path, is the 7th path, an ability to be able to revive the dead, transmit receivers, as well as manifest chakra chains. Kyuga said. So, I'll be able to use these when? Naruto asked. After your 4-year training trip along with a friend of yours, I'll send word to the camp that I took you. Kagaya said. Boo. Sparta smirked as 7-year-old Thalia appeared. I guess you saved after all. Thalia said, looking Naruto before looking at her body. So, this is my new body. She kept her shoulder-length spiky black hair, electric blue eyes. She wore the exact same t-shirt in different size. Her black jeans weren't torn, a leather jacket had become smaller with all her favorite band's logos on the back. She wore black rock boots and kept her skull earrings. I hope you like it, but we're going to need time train you too. Thalia, you're going to stay with me a little longer as we can't afford you to be sent back into that tree. Kagaya said. Right, but are you sure I'm safe? Of course, but go get some sleep you two, for tomorrow starts your training, Kagaya said as waved her right hand as both Naruto and Thalia vanished. Naruto found himself in bedroom with an obsidian window, with dark red curtains, and crimson carpets. There was a wooden desk made of black ash sitting in at the other end of the room. Hanging from the ceiling was black chandelier with red light bulbs. The room was nice. He walked into his bathroom was decorated were black stone walls, with a granite countertop sink. The shower had red diamond panel glass. Naruto didn't mind interior design of his room or bathroom. Changing to his satin silk sleepwear and climbing into bed, tossing the crimson velvet blanket over him as he fell all asleep. The next morning Naruto got up to the dim sunlight that came through the obsidian window. Getting dressed in a pair offered pants, a black leather belt, black gloves, and high black boots. He wore a coat with an upturned collar with short sleeves with black cuffs. Underneath the coat, he wore what appears to be a black long-sleeved shirt, with a red vest with black clasps over it, with his tanto on back. He walked out of his room as he stepped into giant dining room. He looked at the door showing a grand hallway. I guess that's one way to get here, Naruto said as he went to take a seat at the table next to Thalia. Yes, it'll take time to get used to it, but for now eat, so we can begin your training. After breakfast Sparta took him to a room held a vast rainforest. They stood inside a treehouse that looked over most of the forest tree tops. This is where you and me will train for the first year, after which you'll spend 3 months at Camp Half-Blood before spending another training year with me. Before going back another 3 months. Sparta said. School work will be like normal with an hour and a half, with each subject for 5 days plus training, with one full day of training, followed by a full day of rest for 3 months, followed by 3 months of training, followed by 3 months of school, ending with 3 full months of training. Naruto was shocked. A year split up into 4 with school studies for 3 months, followed by 3-month training regimen, before going back to studying and ending with training. He felt he was going to be sick. "Let's begin," Sparta said, laying several books in front of him. Naruto paled. This was going to be a long 10 years. 10 years later, in the city of ruins, a 17-year-old was thrown out of a building as two very tall humanoid demons who appeared to have burned skin with a very noticeable dark brownish tone. They wear long white cloaks and white bandages both on their head and limbs. The bandage on their heads covers their eyes completely. Walked out of the destroyed wall. The young man had blonde shoulder-length hair with white tips. He wore black pants with a black belt that had a large silver buckle, a black V-necked shirt that was worn underneath a red trench coat with gray lining going down the sleeves, and black boots with silver plates to protect his shins. He had a silver plate worn on the left side of his coat and a pair of black fingerless gloves. He manifested 2 black automatic pistols and shot both of the demons in the head. He stood up, and as 2 red orbs flew to him as his body healed, as 2 coffin-wielding demons appeared only to get their heads blown off by 2 bolts of lightning. "You done playing around?" a young feminine voice said. The teen turned to see a beautiful 16-year-old girl with shoulder-length spiky black hair, electric blue eyes and freckles across her nose. She wore skull earrings, a Death to Barbie t-shirt, black tattered jeans, and a leather jacket with logos of several bands on the back. She held 2 celestial automatic bronze pistols. "Thalia, I wasn't playing around," the blonde said, looking a little annoyed. "Whatever, Naruto, we spent enough time and it is our training is complete for now." "Yeah, I'm done getting thrown around for one day," Naruto said, walking away to a church. Thalia shook head and followed Naruto. They walked inside the church and closed the door before opening it again as a hallway appeared. "Ladies first," Naruto said. Thalia glared at Naruto as she went past him. Naruto followed suit, closing the door behind him. He stood inside a gate room. Sitting in the throne was his mother, Kagaya, the goddess of all creation, destruction, space, time, life, death, destiny, fate, and the 6 paths. Standing up to the side was Sparta, a demon knight, as well as the prince of Makai. Both kneeled before them. "Report." "Mission complete," Naruto said. "Good, now it's late and you need to get to camp." Naruto stood and pulled out his backpack from a scroll that appeared out of nowhere. Thalia kissed his cheek. "Be careful, love you, and if you want to date Annabeth, go for it," Thalia said. "Love you too, are you sure?" Thalia smiled and nodded. "She really likes you and I don't see a problem." Naruto nodded before leaving the throne room. He stepped into a forest as a woman, a boy, and a satyr ran past him as the mentor chased them. Naruto pulled out his pistols and followed them. He made it to the entrance as boy ripped off one of the horns before stabbing it. He shot the creature in head and chest as it burst into ash. Naruto walked up to them and dropped his bag as he pulled purplish red apple, tossed it in the satyr's mouth. "He'll be fine, I'll carry Grover here. Come, we must get inside the barriers, get to the big house," Naruto said. The boy nodded and followed him to the big house and collapsed on the porch as Chiron and Annabeth came out. He picked up Grover as Chiron took the boy. The next day Naruto stood next to Annabeth, who was sitting in a chair as they were talking. "Naruto, I don't know." "I understand," Naruto said. "But I got it, Annabeth, and your ward is wake. I'll leave him to you," Naruto said, walking out of the building. Naruto wondered who'd be dumb enough to steal Zeus's Master Bolt, Poseidon's Trident, and Hades' Helm of Darkness. He looked at the sky and lake and sighed. Of course Thunderhead would blame Poseidon. I hope he doesn't claim Percy to use him as bait, Naruto thought. Naruto walked to the Hermes cabin, since he hasn't fully been claimed by his mom by camp standards. He walked in and stepping to the left as a water balloon passed him. "Need to do better if you want prank the king prankster of hell," Naruto said to the Stoll twins as they were pelted with 2 gained water balloons. 3 preteens laughed. Naruto was always sent back a few years younger than his time with his mother. The handsome college-aged young man with short cropped sandy blonde hair, blue eyes, an athletic and muscular build, and a sneaky look like all Hermes demigod children. He has a thick, deep, pale scar that ran from the bottom of his eye down to his chin. Walked up to him. "Luke, how you been?" Naruto asked. Luke smiled. "Been better. You going to train?" "Nah, I was going head to the showers." I stopped by to get my things," Naruto said, walking to a medium-sized metal chest that had several black symbols marking with a lock with the same symbols on it. He placed his hand on the lock and sent a small surge of his power, as lock and chest glowed as a click was heard. Naruto opened as took out a scroll and closed the chest before locking it. Naruto walked out of the cabin to showers as he passed the campers. Annabeth walked up to him with a boy that he helped take down a mentor. "Naruto, this Percy Jackson," Annabeth said. "Nice to meet you, Percy. Sorry about your mother being taken away," Naruto said, looking at Percy. "Like you know how it feels," Percy said, walking away. Naruto walked away to the showers. With Thalia. Thalia sat on a beach looking at the ocean as Sparta sat next to her. "What's on your mind, dear?" Sparta asked. "You're not really our Prince of Machia, are you?" "No, that lies with my grandson Minato, whose mother was the daughter of Raisin." "So, Minato was a half-demon?" Thalia asked. "Yes, I fear for his safety more than ever. Being a demon by blood and the son of the primordial goddess, his power is greater than my own. A true king in his right." Thalia looked at him. "So, how strong do you think he is right now?" "Well, right now a C-rank demon. If he was here a B-rank. I'm kinda glad the only weapons he has are his twin swords, his pistols and hellfire chains. His fatal flaw. Wanting to be human." "What?" "Naruto blames himself for his dad's death, since he's not human by standards." Thalia looked down. "Reckless would been better." Sparta chucked. "Yeah, but he wouldn't try it if he had people with him on his own. You be your ass, he would be reckless like any other." Thalia giggled, making Sparta smile. "So, what are doing here really?" Thalia sighed. "Annabeth, she likes Naruto and I know I can't leave this place since my body is stuck in the tree." Thalia said. "I mean, yeah, it's nice to be 17 in age, but I wish I was with my friends." Thalia said. "I know how it feels. Kagaya isn't evil, she's really caring, but she can't outright claim Naruto, as he doesn't want to be claimed outright out fear of his demon heritage." Thalia nodded, remembering when she got lost and fell in the city of ruins. If wasn't for Naruto triggering his demon side, she would have been dead. "Yeah, that night he ripped his horns out of head. He had them forged into your guns after having Kagaya duplicate the horns, so he could upgrade his tantos into his katanas that he has now. He made my guns from his own horns, along with a little of his essences." Sparta said. "Why create something that he knows that kill him?" "I asked the same thing. He told me that if it can kill him, then he knows that you're safe, as you're the only one that can use the guns. If anyone else try, the fail-safe will activate, and they'll be absorbed inside the weapons," Sparta said. Thalia looked at the weapons. "So, he'd been training me to use 2 weapons that could kill him." "Thalia, I don't doubt you're upset, but that's how we demons are. I don't understand. If we lose our way, we need to be put down. My wife had my sword that I created after got together." Thalia looked at him. "I thought demons just kill, torture, and make deals for souls." "Yes, that's the lesser or weaker demons that kill or torture. Those that make deals are either summoned or need to make a quota by betting items for souls." Thalia looked at him. "So, the sins. Demon hunter known as keepers that hunt demons like me that turned our backs on our own kind. Can't you become an angel? Born of fallen angels and became a knight by being condemned for all eternity," Sparta said, looking at waves. "Minato wanted a human life and gained after Kagaya gave birth to Naruto." "Really?" Thalia asked in surprise. "Yeah, even Kagaya was shocked and asked why. You know, even today his answer rings in my ears." "What did he say?" "He said he wanted given normal even if it killed him. He died 4 years later by a werewolf named Lycan," Sparta said. "So, that's why he doesn't want to be claimed." "Yeah, he wants to be normal as he can be, even denying that is the son of a demon and a primordial goddess. But he seems to accept that he has power." "Yes, but not his true power of his gift." Thalia stared at ocean as 2 dolphins played. "So, what happened at the winter solstice?" "Someone stole your father's master lightning bolt and both your uncle's weapons of power." Thalia looked at him. "Your father blames Poseidon, believing that ordered his child to steal his master bolt and let them take his trident as way to prove his innocences." Naruto going to let his mom claim him if Poseidon claims the child? Yep, what better way to piss off your father by Kaguya declaring Naruto as her son? What? Last thing the world needs 3 gods starting a war, so what better way having the son of the most powerful being bowing at Zeus' feet? Are you going to claim? No, he has declare who he is. Again, you demons are weird. That's how he gain our full potential power. By accepting who and what you are. Yeah, that's why lesser some are weak or travel packs since. Hacks are so annoying. Phyla said. Yeah, those are the ones that accept being who they are and give you higher demons trouble, since they overwhelm them with numbers and attack like a well-oiled machine. Thalia thought how Camp Half-Blood would function if they worked like that, versus how they normally worked before shivering. Did you think how the camp put aside their differences and worked together would be like those lesser demons? Yeah, but with Naruto leading them. Sparta thought about it and shivered. I'm never going to be able to look at my grandson the same ever again. Thalia busted out in giggles before rolling on the ground laughing. After her moment she sat up staring at the sunset. Well, I'm going back, take care, Sparta said, walking away. Thalia just sat there looking at the ocean, gave off a fiery glow as the light of sunset hit the waves. Beautiful, isn't? Ah, voice said behind her. Thalia smiled as she kept looking at the ocean. Of course, this is where we had our first kiss, Thalia said. Naruto sat down. I ran into the son of Poseidon. Thalia looked at him. Are you sure? Yes, wait, many things make this be some random luck. The deadline getting to the stolen items back is coming up just a few days. Hades must know that he's Poseidon's son as well, so I don't doubt Zeus knows Percy is Poseidon's son. Does your mom know? Yay, if Poseidon claims Percy, she's going to claim no matter how I feel about it, Naruto said. So, you talked to Annabeth? Yeah, but she doesn't know she wants Luke, but at the same time she wants me. Like how you have me but want her too. Thalia, it's not like that at all, you know me, the true me. I can't afford to her know my darker half. Naruto, one day have to tell her about what happened that night, Thalia said. Naruto got up. Thalia, me being what I am is not who I am. Thalia looked at him. Why do you come here? To get revenge, to torture yourself, to get a way of life, only to go back and pretend you're something normal or just playing me? Naruto looked down. I really don't know what I'm doing really. Hell, sometimes I think you're not real. Thalia ran away from Naruto. Naruto sighed and went back to Camp Half-Blood. A few days later, Naruto was laying in his sleeping bag only to be kicked awake. You better have a reason for waking me. Annabeth shook her head. Get you lazy son of a bitch, it's captured the flag, we need you. Naruto opened an eye to see Annabeth deck out in her armor. Naruto sat up, showing that he didn't have a shirt on as his well-built body was on display. You have Luke Long with the Hermes cabin, and those that didn't go to Team Ares. Jiren wants you. Naruto laid back down, covered his face. I need you, please. Percy needs help guarding the flag. 9 Naruto replicas appeared. Take them and go, I'm going back to sleep. Annabeth grabbed his sleeping bag and threw him out of the cabin. Damn it, Annabeth, Naruto shouted as the campers laughed. Then get your ass up, Annabeth growled. Naruto got out of his sleeping bag as he stood only in boxers. As the daughters of Aphrodite, Ares, Athena, Apollo, Demeter, Hephaestus and Hermes looked at him with blushing faces. Naruto summoned a scroll and unrolled it, taking a black shirt, a pair of black pants, black socks and boots out of the scroll and putting on the clothes. He made a small surge of his power as armor appeared over his clothing, as he had his 2 katanas at his side with both his guns in their holsters, one on each side. Naruto picked up his sleeping bag, rolled it up and placed into the scroll as vanished. By joining, I need music when the battle starts, Naruto said. Everyone paled minus Percy. You're joking, right? No, I'm not, and well, sing Battle Cry by Imagine Dragons, Naruto said. You're a nightmare, Annabeth groaned. Well, next time leave me be, Naruto said. Whatever, Annabeth said. Naruto smiled as he walked over to Percy. Well, hide near the creek and don't leave the water for any reason, Naruto whispered. Percy nodded and followed Naruto. Once everyone was in position, Chiron's boomed through the forest. "Heroes," he announced. "You know the rules. The creek is the boundary line. The entire forest is fair game. All magic items are allowed. The banner must be prominently displayed and have no more than 2 guards. Prisoners may be disarmed, but may not be bound or gagged. No killing or maiming is allowed. I will serve as referee and battlefield medic." Began. Naruto began humming before he sang. "Naruto, just one more time before I go. I let you know that all this time I've been afraid. Wouldn't let it show. Nobody can save me now, no. Nobody can save me now. Percy, stars are only visible in darkness. Fear is ever changing and evolving. And I feel poisoned inside. But I feel so alive. All the campers. Nobody can save me now. The king is crowned. It's do or die. Nobody can save me now. The only sound is the battle cry. Is the battle cry. Is the battle cry. Nobody can save me now. It's do or die. Bandabith. Bo. All the campers. Nobody can save me now. The king is crowned. It's do or die. Nobody can save me now. The only sound is the battle cry. Is the battle cry. Is the battle cry. Nobody can save me now. It's do or die. Naruto, just one more time before I go. I let you know that all this time I've been afraid. Wouldn't let it show. Nobody can save me now, no. Nobody can save me now." Percy turned to Naruto. "How did you do that?" "Part of my powers, now get in the water," Naruto said, kicking Percy in his back. He fell in the water. "Stay, it will save your life." Percy looked at him like he was insane. "Don't argue, Claris and 4 of siblings are coming. I'll keep Claris off your back, just deal with her goons." Percy watched as 2 streams of black fire flew past him as 2 loud clucks was heard as if metal hit metal. Percy watched the flames died out, leaving 2 black chains. He followed the chains to see them coming out of Naruto's wrists. "That over here," Naruto said as yanked the chains as a girl with the height of a basketball player and the muscular body of a rugby player came flying over Percy's head like a rag doll. Naruto wheeled th chains to release Claris. "Your battle is with me, little girl." Claris glared at Naruto. "I'll show you, little." Naruto used his chains to wrap her legs chained upside to a branch of a nearby tree. Naruto sidestepped as one of Ares' kid was sent flying by a water whip. Naruto smirked as Percy surrounded by water-like tentacles within the center with a trident made water. The 3 Ares kids were having a difficult time as they would get attacked by the water whips every time they got near the water. As the cannon went off, the water whips drop as Luke came running up with flag with rest of the campers. Chiron trotted up next Naruto. Before anyone could speak, a loud howl was heard. Naruto grabbed his pistols and fired 2 shots as a black hound the size of a rhino, with lava-red eyes and fangs like daggers, came out of the forest. Naruto bent back as the hellhound flew over Naruto and clawed Percy's chest as he knelt down as held chest. Naruto appeared in front of the hellhound and fired of several rounds into the beast before stabbing it with both his swords as it was absorbed into them. "Bandabith, lay Percy on his back in the water now," Naruto ordered. Bandabith looked at Naruto as he was crazy. "Do it before you kill the son of Poseidon," Naruto said. Bandabith let go of Percy only from him to fall on his back. As the water healed his wounds, a trident appeared above his head. "How did you know?" Bandabith was cut off as Naruto had a tree-like lotus flower with 3 rings with 3 tomo on each ring. "My mother is Kagaya, the goddess of dimensions, creation, destruction, fate, density, and the 6 paths of life and death," Naruto said. Naruto stood smiling. "Kagaya?" Bandabith asked, wondering what goddess that was. "The mother of all creation, destruction, life, death, and everything between, the true primordial goddess. Wife to Shinju, whom is the father of demons, monsters, and Tartarus," Chiron said. Every camper stood in awe of Naruto. He noticed several of the female campers giving him looks. "Good thing Thalia is with mom," Naruto thought as he handed Chiron the flag. "This was fun and all, but I got to go see ya." They watched him disappear in small vortex of lighting, water, and darkness as the sky and earth rumbled. Percy was coming to as Luke helped back to the cabins. As the two came, they saw the other campers standing in awe from the small castle-like cabin. It had the Alpha and Omega symbols in red with double bronze doors. It was made out of stone with obsidian windows with iron bars on them. But what really got them was 12 miniature statues of beasts with different amount of tails, except for the two rabbits. One was solid black with white crescent moon on its head, with the other being white with a black 10-point sun on its head. The campers were shocked to see such a cabin as they went to their own, as Percy was helped back to Hermes' cabin for the night. Mount Olympus. Teuga, Sparta and a 17-year-old Thalia stood in front of the Olympians. "What is the meaning of this?" Zeus ordered. "What should have happened long ago? Thalia is going back to camp under the protection of my son," Teuga said. "Not going to happen." "Yes, Zeus, it is going to happen. You can go fuck yourself as you broke your oath and tried fix it by sacrificing your daughter." "So, what are you going to do, make her your champion?" Zeus asked. "Actually, Zeus, Sparta here has got you on 2 accounts. For Thalia Grace, your daughter, but I do take her as one of my future daughters-in-law." Every Olympian god or goddess stared at Teuga. "Jason Grace, your Roman son," Teuga said. "Just so you know, a throne is given to the firstborn son," Sparta said. "Pagaromo and Homura can't claim my seat, nor can this child," Zeus said. "Apollo said otherwise, 17 years ago," Teuga said, vanishing with Thalia and Sparta. Zeus was left sleeping. "Dionysus, it's time to send that child of hers on a quest and make sure he doesn't come back live." After the meeting, Hera left to send word to Teuga. Naruto dreaming when a peacock was going to a rabbit as panther jumped from an eagle nest. Naruto woke up throwing a kunai at the door as a girl of 17 with spiky black hair, wearing a black leather jacket over her Death to Barbie t-shirt, showing a little Barbie doll with an arrow through its head. She wore skull earrings, a pair of black jeans with holes in the legs and a pair of black boots. Naruto summoned his 2 pistols as he aimed them at Thyla's head. "Relax, Naru, Mom sent me and another to back you, and to give you these," Thalia said, pulling out a scroll and unrolled as 7 seals appeared. Naruto lowered his pistols. "What do you mean as my backup?" There was a knock at the door before Grover spoke up. "Naruto, Mr. D wants to see you." "I see, stay here, get my things ready to go," Naruto said as he walked to the bathroom to get changed. At the big house, Naruto stood with Prisai and Grover. Naruto glared at Dionysus after Thalia filled him in on what Hera told Teuga about Zeus' plan. "I knew that I was a prince, but to be Shinju's and Zeus' descendant from their firstborn sons, damn." Naruto was lost his thoughts, ignoring Dionysus' threats, only to snap out of his thoughts when he left 2 security passes before left to Olympus. Phase 1, complete. Now let Phase 2 run its course before pulling out the winning hand, Naruto thought. Jiren smiled at Naruto and Prisai. "Okay, you 3 please it." The 3 teens took a seat in the chair. "Tell me, Prisai, what did you make of the Hellhound?" Prisai shivered a bit. "It scared me. If Naruto hadn't killed Ott and saved me, that would have been my last night." Naruto smirked. "Trust me, Prisai, you'll still would have had another day," Naruto said. "What do you mean?" Grover asked. "Let's just say there's nights that destiny and fate can't predict if they want to stay alive," Naruto said. "Yes, anyways, Prisai, you'll meet worse, far worse, when you get done," Chiron said. "Done? With what?" "Their quest, Prisai, more or less our quest for the main stolen item, Zeus Master Bolt," Naruto said. Jiren looked at Naruto. "Primordial God is for a mother and doesn't have to listen others as long as the balance isn't tip," Naruto said. Jiren shrugged but nodded at his answer. Naruto corked about the said being item stolen. "Okay, but why does this have to be my quest?" Thunder boomed across the valley. The storm clouds had reached the beach, the sky and water boiling together. "Zeus and Poseidon are fighting over this Master Bolt?" Prisai asked. "Well, he gets gist of it," Naruto said to Chiron. "Prisai, the Master Bolt is like others light bolts, as it is compacted with god-level explosives that's contained and cap off it ends within a 2-foot cylinder celestial bronze," Naruto said. Prisai gulped. "It's missing." "Stolen," Naruto said. "By who?" By whom? Chiron said. By you and I. Naruto saying. Precise stood shell-shocked. At least that's what Zeus thinks. During the winter solstice at the last council of the gods, Zeus's master bolt was stolen along with Poseidon's trident and the helm of Hades. Chiron said. How did these items come up missing? During their argument which Zeus started of mouthing off about air disasters better sea disasters, who was the parent's favorite child? Naruto said. Precise looked at him. What at the age of 3 and heard every winter solstice? Naruto said. Precise looked at him. I'm the only demigod that's been here longer Annabeth and any other camper that's here at camp. Precise nodded. I understand you going, but why us, why him and why me? Listen, reason is Zeus hates the children of Cayuga for reasons I won't go all in detail for, but just time's sake I'll give the short version. They're god killers and heavy seeked out by every woman, be it goddess, immortal, mortal or demigods. Precise looked at Naruto. Okay, how bad can that be? Let's just say Evie goddess on Mount Olympus are waiting for me to come of age or reach godhood or whichever comes first. Precise looked at. Okay, I can now understand why Zeus is sending you on this quest. Naruto chuckled at Precise dead-pinned statum statement. The other is your Poseidon's son, just like Naruto there is Cayuga's son. But he has reasons to be suspicious. The forges of the Cyclopses are under the ocean, which Poseidon has some influence on the makers of his brother's lighting. Zeus believes that Poseidon has taken the Master Bolt. Chiron said. Precise was but speak when Naruto cut him off. Precise, Zeus, believes that Poseidon is secretly making an arsenal of illegal copies, which might be used to topple Zeus from his throne. Only thing was he didn't know which hero Poseidon used so to steal the bolt. Now that Poseidon has openly claimed you as his son. And you were here during the winter solstice. Grover said meekly. So he believes that I walked in, stole it as well as 2 items. He can't steal any from the Hermes cabin without being caught. Precise said. So how does he suspect me? He believes you had me do it while you stole the lightning bolt. Naruto said. And thinks he has thieves. I never been to Olympus. Precise said. Zeus is crazy. The clouds built up ilky a coffin around the valley. Precise. We don't use the C word to describe the Lord of the Sky. Grover said. You know paranoia is the leading cause to insanity. Naruto stated. Yes, Chiron said. Just making sure, Naruto said. Then again, Poseidon did try to overseat Zeus before. I believe that was question 38 on the final exam. Chiron said, looking at Precise. Something about a golden net. Precise guess. Dear Precise, let me help you. Poseidon, with the help of Hera and gods, had trapped Zeus in a net and threatened him to throw his crazy ass in the abyss if he didn't swear on the river Styx to become a better ruler. Chiron looked at Naruto. What mother did raise me at the age of 7 to become a dumbass? Chiron gave up on trying to figure out Naruto as Cayuga was a headache. Zeus has never trusted Poseidon since. Of course, Poseidon denies stealing the Master Bolt. He took great offense at the accusation. The two have been arguing back and forth for months, threatening war. And now, you've come along the proverbial last straw. But I'm just a kid. Percy, Grover cut in, if you were Zeus, and you already thought your brother was plotting to overthrow you, then your brother suddenly admitted he had broken the sacred oath he took after World War II, that he's fathered a new mortal hero who might be used as a weapon against you. Wouldn't that put a twist in your toga? Grover, Zeus broke the scared oath by having Thalia, remember? Naruto said. But I didn't do anything. Poseidon, my daddy, didn't really have this Master Bolt stolen, did he? Chiron sighed. Most thinking observers would agree that thievery is not Poseidon's style. But the sea god is too proud to try convincing Zeus of that. Zeus has demanded that Poseidon return the bolt by the summer solstice. That's June 21st, 10 days from now. Poseidon wants an apology for being called a thief by the same date. I hope that diplomacy might prevail, that Hera or Demeter or Hestia would make the two brothers see sense. But your arrival has inflamed Zeus's temper. Now, neither god will back down. Unless someone intervenes, unless the Master Bolt is found and returned to Zeus before the solstice, there will be war. And do you know what a full-fledged war would look like, Percy? Bad, Presai guessed. Imagine the world in chaos. Nature at war with itself. Olympians forced to choose sides between Zeus and Poseidon. Destruction. Carnage. Millions dead. Western civilization turned into a battleground so big it will make the Trojan War look like a water balloon fight. Bad, Naruto stated. You and Naruto would be the first to feel Zeus's wrath. It started to rain. Volleyball players stopped their game and stared in stunned silence at the sky. So I have to find the stupid bolt, Presai said, and return it to Zeus. What better peace offering, Chiron said, than to have the sons of Poseidon and Cayuga return Zeus's property? If Poseidon doesn't have it, where is the thing? I believe I know. Chiron's expression was grim. Part of a prophecy I had years ago. Well, some of the lines make sense to me now. But before I can say more, you must officially take up the quest. You must seek the counsel of the oracle. Why can't you tell me where the bolt is beforehand? Because if I did, you would be too afraid to accept the challenge. Presai swallowed. Good reason. You agree then? Presai looked at Grover, who nodded encouragingly. All right, I said. It's better than being turned into a dolphin. Pound me in butt, I rather deal with 7 sins of hell, than go on some quest. But getting away from a man-child of a god might be good, as I might kill a few monsters and see the world a little, Naruto said. Then it's time you consulted the oracle, Chiron said. Go upstairs, Percy Jackson, to the you come back down, assuming you're still sane. We will talk more. Why doesn't he have to go? Presai pointed to Naruto. I will after you get back. Presai nodded as he left, leaving Naruto with Chiron. So, it seems that you have been busy if you had to face the keepers of hell. Yeah, which I hate Sparta for. Chiron chuckled. So, your mother had taken you in during the 3 months between each solstice. Yeah, to keep my powers under control and trained me to keep a cool head, Naruto said. By the way, 2 of my companions will meet me along the quest to save time. I have no problem with that, Chiron said. The door opened as Presai walked out. Guess it's my turn. Naruto stood in front of a mummy-like woman. What is my destiny? Green like snakes whirled as 3 demon kings stood looking at him through the mist. You shall find what is lost in hands of war. Then the world of the lost and damned you shall save what couldn't be saved. In the end, those close to you shall be betrayed by the one closest to them. Naruto watched the mist disappear as he walked to his cabin after telling Chiron his so-called destiny. Opening door, he found Thalia sitting in the living room going over a list as she marking off each item. Got everything? Yes, Zetsu helped me seal away what we need, Thalia said, tossing him a small pouch and a wallet. Both of those are a gift from your mother, as they have anti-theft seals on them. With other high-level seals, the pouch is enchanted, so don't worry about it losing it, as it will immediately latch to your side. And the wallet. Same as the pouch, but is enchanted to never run out of money and has 2 unlimited credit cards, Thalia said. Cool, well we better get going, Naruto said, picking up his backpack and placed a seal Thalia neck as Maida grabbed his necklace with a crystal gem as it glowed. Thalia looked at Naruto. Relax, if we get split up we know how to communicate still. Pow. Like this, Naruto thought. That's incredible. Glad you like it. Also, we're heading out with Presai. You should head to your tree. Thalia nodded as she ran out the door in bolt of lighting. Naruto smiled as he ran after her. Naruto stood with Thalia as Argus, Chiron, Annabeth, Grover and Presai came up the hilltop, before staring at a 17-year-old Thalia and Naruto. It's just illusion, well for me anyways. Thalia here is back but still contacted to the tree, Naruto said. Your mother doesn't play by the rules. She does, but when it comes to Zeus fucking up, well, let's say rules be damned, Naruto said. Luke came running uphill. I'm glad I caught you. Luke's voice got caught as Thalia stood next to Naruto holding his hand. Thalia. Hey Luke, Thalia said. How are you here? Zeus fucked up, and to right the wrong my mom revived Thalia for this quest. Anyways, Presai, I wanted to give you a gift for good luck. He handed Presai a pair of sneakers, which looked pretty normal. They even smelled kind of normal. Luke said, Maya. White bird's wings sprouted out of the heels, startling me so much, Prisai dropped them. The shoes flapped around on the ground until the wings folded up and disappeared. Awesome, Grover said. Yeah, great, can we get going now? I like to get this over with, Naruto said. Hey, man, Prisai said. Thanks. Listen, Percy. Luke looked uncomfortable. A lot of hopes are riding on you. So just kill some monsters for me, okay? They shook hands. Luke patted Grover's head between his horns, then gave a goodbye hug to both Thalia and Annabeth. The latter looked like she might pass out. After Luke was gone, Prisai told her, "You're hyperventilating." "I'm not. You let him capture the flag instead of you, didn't you?" "Oh. Why do I want to go anywhere with you, Percy, when I can go out with a blonde?" She stomped down the other side of the hill, where a white SUV waited on the shoulder of the road. Argus followed, jingling his car keys. Both Thalia and Naruto looked at each other before Thalia walked down the hill to go talk to Annabeth. Prisai picked up the flying shoes and had a sudden bad feeling. He looked at Chiron. "I won't be able to use these, will I?" He shook his head. "Luke meant well, Percy. But taking to the air, that would not be wise for you." He nodded, disappointed, but then got an idea. "Hey, Grover. You want a magic item?" His eyes lit up. "Me?" Pretty soon he'd laced the sneakers over his fake feet, and the world's first flying goat boy was ready for launch. "Maya!" he shouted. He got off the ground okay, but then fell over sideways, so his backpack dragged through the grass. The winged shoes kept bucking up and down like tiny broncos. "Practice," Chiron called after him. "You just need practice." "Aya." Grover went flying sideways down the hill like a possessed lawnmower, heading toward the van with Naruto running after him. Before Prisai could follow, Chiron caught his arm. "I should have trained you better, Percy," he said. "If only I had more time." Hercules, Jason, they all got more training. "That's okay. I just wish Prisai stopped himself because he was about to sound like a brat. He was wishing his dad had given me a cool magic item to help on the quest, something as good as Luke's flying shoes or Annabeth's invisible cap. What am I thinking?" Chiron cried. "I can't let you get away without this." He pulled a pen from his coat pocket and handed it to Prisai. It was an ordinary disposable ballpoint, black ink, removable cap. Probably cost 30 cents. "Gee," Prisai said. "Thanks. Percy, that's a gift from your father. I've kept it for years, not knowing you were who I was waiting for. But the prophecy is clear to me now. You are the one." He remembered the field trip to the Metropolitan Museum of Art when he'd vaporized Mrs. Dodds. Chiron had thrown him a pen that turned into a sword. Could this be? He took off the cap, and the pen grew longer and heavier in my hand. In half a second, he held a shimmering bronze sword with a double-edged blade, a leather-wrapped grip, and a flat hilt riveted with gold studs. It was the first weapon that actually felt balanced in my hand. "The sword has a long and tragic history that we need not go into," Chiron told me. "Its name is Anaklusmos." Riptide had translated, surprised the ancient Greek came so easily. "Use it only for emergencies," Chiron said, "and only against monsters. No hero should harm mortals unless absolutely necessary, of course, but this sword wouldn't harm them in any case." He looked at the wickedly sharp blade. "What do you mean it wouldn't harm mortals?" "How could it not? The sword is celestial bronze, forged by the Cyclops, tempered in the heart of Mount Etna, cooled in the river Lede. It's deadly to monsters, to any creature from the underworld, provided they don't kill you first. But the blade will pass through mortals like an illusion. They simply are not important enough for the blade to kill. And I should warn you, as a demigod, you can be killed by either celestial or normal weapons. You are twice as vulnerable." "Good to know. Now recap the pen." He touched the pen cap to the sword tip, and instantly Riptide shrank to a ballpoint pen again. He tucked it in his pocket, a little nervous, because he was famous for losing pens at school. "You can't," Chiron said. "Can't what?" "Lose the pen," he said. "It is enchanted. It will always reappear in your pocket. Try it." He was wary, but threw the pen as far as he could down the hill, and watched it disappear in the grass. "It may take a few moments," Chiron told me. Now check your pocket. Sure enough, the pen was there. Okay, that's extremely cool, he admitted. But what if a mortal sees me pulling out a sword? Jiren smiled. Mist is a powerful thing, Percy. Mist? Yes. Read the Iliad. It's full of references to the stuff. Whenever divine or monstrous elements mix with the mortal world, they generate mist, which obscures the vision of humans. You will see things just as they are, being a half-blood, but humans will interpret things quite differently. Remarkable, really, the lengths to which humans will go to fit things into their version of reality. He put Riptide back in his pocket. For the first time, the quest felt real. He was actually leaving Half-Blood Hill. He was heading west with no adult supervision, no backup plan, not even a cell phone. Chiron said cell phones were traceable by monsters. If they used one, it would be worse than sending up a flare. I had no weapon stronger than a sword to fight off monsters and reach the land of the dead. Chiron, he said, when you say the gods are immortal, I mean, there was a time before them, right? 4 ages before them, actually. The time of the Titans was the 4th age, sometimes called the Golden Age, which is definitely a misnomer. This, the time of Western civilization and the rule of Zeus, is the 5th age. So what was it like before the gods? Chiron pursed his lips. Even I am not old enough to remember that, child, but I know it was a time of darkness and savagery for mortals. Kronos, the lord of the Titans, called his reign the Golden Age because men lived innocent and free of all knowledge. But that was mere propaganda. The Titan King cared nothing for your kind except as appetizers or a source of cheap entertainment. It was only in the early reign of Lord Zeus, when Prometheus the good Titan brought fire to mankind, that your species began to progress, and even then Prometheus was branded a radical thinker. Zeus punished him severely, as you may recall. Of course, eventually the gods warmed to humans, and Western civilization was born. But the gods can't die now, right? I mean, as long as Western civilization is alive, they're alive. So, even if I failed, nothing could happen so bad it would mess up everything, right? Chiron gave me a melancholy smile. No one knows how long the age of the West will last, Percy. The gods are immortal, yes. But then, so were the Titans. They still exist, locked away in their various prisons, forced to endure endless pain and punishment, reduced in power, but still very much alive. May the fates forbid that the gods should ever suffer such a doom, or that we should ever return to the darkness and chaos of the past. All we can do, child, is follow our destiny. Our destiny, assuming we know what that is. Relax, Chiron told him. Keep a clear head. And remember, you may be about to prevent the biggest war in human history. Relax, Percy said. I'm very relaxed. When he got to the bottom of the hill, he looked back. Under the pine tree that used to be Thalia, Chiron was now standing in full horseman form, holding his bow high in salute. Just your typical summer camp send-off by your typical centaur. Argus drove us out of the countryside and into western Long Island. It felt weird to be on a highway again for Percy. Annabeth and Grover sitting next to him with Naruto sitting in front row holding Thalia's hand as if they were normal carpoolers. After 2 weeks at Half-Blood Hill, the real world seemed like a fantasy to Percy. He found himself staring at every McDonald's, every kid in the back of his parents' car, every billboard and shopping mall. So far so good, Percy told Annabeth. 10 miles and not a single monster. She gave him an irritated look. It's bad luck to talk that way, seaweed brain. Remind me again, why do you hate me so much? I don't hate you. Could have fooled me. She folded her cap of invisibility. Look, we're just not supposed to get along, okay? Our parents are rivals. Why? She sighed. How many reasons do you want? One time my mom caught Poseidon with his girlfriend in Athena's temple, which is hugely disrespectful. Another time, Athena and Poseidon competed to be the patron god for the city of Athens. Your dad created some stupid saltwater spring for his gift. My mom created the olive tree. The people saw that her gift was better, so they named the city after her. They must really like olives. Oh, forget it. Now, if she'd invented pizza that I could understand. I said, forget it. Annabeth said, chaining seats with Naruto. Then the front seat, Argus smiled. He didn't say anything, but one blue eye on the back of his neck winked at Prisai. Traffic slowed us down in Queens. By the time we got into Manhattan it was sunset and starting to rain. Annabeth, staying positive and calm under any situation is the key to every battle strategy. Thalia said. I know, I want this quest to be over. Annabeth said to her older sister figure. Argus dropped them at the Greyhound station on the Upper East Side, not far from Prisai's mom and Gabe's apartment. Taped to a mailbox was a soggy flyer with Prisai's picture on it. Have you seen this boy? He ripped it down before anyone could notice. Argus unloaded their bags, made sure they got the bus tickets, then drove away, the eye on the back of his hand, opening to watch us as he pulled out of the parking lot. Grover shouldered his backpack. He gazed down the street in the direction Prisai was looking. You want to know why she married him, Percy? Prisai stared at him. Were you reading my mind or something? Just your emotions. He shrugged. Guess I forgot to tell you satyrs can do that. You were thinking about your mom and your stepdad, right? Prisai nodded, wondering what else Grover might have forgotten to tell him. Your mom married Gabe for you, Grover told me. You call him smelly, but you've got no idea. The guy has this aura. Yuck. I can smell him from here. I can smell traces of him on you, and you haven't been near him for a week. Thanks, Prisai said. Where's the nearest shower? You should be grateful, Percy. Your stepfather smells so repulsively human he could mask the presence of any demigod, Naruto said. I took a whiff inside his Camaro, I knew. Gabe has been covering your scent for years. If you hadn't lived with him every summer, you probably would have been found by monsters a long time ago, Grover said. Your mom stayed with him to protect you. She was a smart lady. She must have loved you a lot to put up with that guy if that makes you feel any better, Thalia said. It didn't, but he forced himself not to show it. I'll see her again, he thought. She isn't gone. He wondered if Grover could still read his emotions, as mixed up as they were. He was glad that Naruto, Thalia, Grover and Annabeth were with him, but he felt guilty that he hadn't been straight with them. He hadn't told them the real reason I'd said yes to this crazy quest. The truth was, he didn't care about retrieving Zeus's lightning bolt, or saving the world, or even helping his father out of trouble. The more he thought about it, he resented Poseidon for never visiting him, never helping his mom, never even sending a lousy child support check. He'd only claimed me because he needed a job done. All he cared about was his mom. Hades had taken her unfairly, and Hades was going to give her back. You will be betrayed by one who calls you a friend, the oracle whispered in his mind. You will fail to save what matters most in the end. Shut up, he told it. The rain kept coming down. They got restless waiting for the bus, and decided to play some hacky sack that Naruto pulled out his backpack. Annabeth, Thalia and Naruto were unbelievable. They could bounce the sack off their knees, their elbows, their shoulders. Prisai wasn't too bad himself. The game ended when I tossed the sack towards Naruto's chest as it bounced off him and kicked up in the air as he bounced it of 10 times before grabbed and turned it into a golden apple and threw it towards Grover's mouth. In one mega goat bite, our hacky sack disappeared, core, stem, and all. Grover blushed. He tried to apologize, but Annabeth and Prisai were too busy cracking up. Don't worry, Grover, I knew you were hungry, Naruto said with a smile, only to a kiss on the lips from Thalia. Prisai, Grover and Annabeth was shocked. Sorry, love, but I couldn't resist, Thalia said, burying her head in his chest. Finally the bus came. As they stood in line to board, Grover started looking around, sniffing the air like he smelled his favorite school cafeteria delicacy, enchiladas. What is it? Prisai asked. I don't know, he said tensely. Maybe it's nothing. But he could tell it wasn't nothing. He started looking over his shoulder, too. He was relieved when they finally got on board and found seats together in the back of the bus. They stowed away their backpacks. Annabeth kept slapping her Yankees cap nervously against her thigh. Thalia was messing with her watch. Naruto hid something under the sleeves of his jacket. As the last passengers got on, Annabeth clamped her hands onto Thalia's and Naruto's knees. Prisai. Annabeth whispered. An old lady had just boarded the bus. She wore a crumpled velvet dress, lace gloves, and a shapeless orange knit hat that shadowed her face, and she carried a big paisley purse. When she tilted her head up, her black eyes glittered, and my heart skipped a beat. "Miss Dobbs," Naruto heard Percy say. Behind her came two more old ladies. One in a green hat, one in a purple hat. Otherwise they looked exactly like Mrs. Dodd's, same gnarled hands, paisley handbags, wrinkled velvet dresses. Triplet demon grandmothers. They sat in the front row, right behind the driver. The two on the aisle crossed their legs over the walkway, making an X. It was casual enough, but it sent a clear message. Nobody leaves. The bus pulled out of the station, and we headed through the slick streets of Manhattan. "She didn't stay dead long," Percy said, trying to keep his voice from quivering. "I thought you said they could be dispelled for a lifetime." "I said if you're lucky," Annabeth said. "But you're obviously not," Thalia said. "All three of them," Grover whimpered. "Die immortales." "It's okay," Naruto said, taking Annabeth's hat. "The Furies. The three worst monsters from the underworld. No problem. No problem. We'll just slip out the windows," Annabeth said. "They don't open," Grover moaned. "The back exit," she suggested. There wasn't one. Even if there had been, it wouldn't have helped. By that time, they were on 9th Avenue, heading for the Lincoln Tunnel. "They won't attack us with witnesses around," Percy said. "Will they?" "Mortals don't have good eyes," Annabeth reminded me. "Their brains can only process what they see through the mist. They'll see three old ladies killing us, won't they?" She thought about it. "Hard to say. But we can't count on mortals for help. Maybe an emergency exit in the roof." We hit the Lincoln Tunnel, and the bus went dark except for the running lights down the aisle. It was eerily quiet without the sound of the rain. Mrs. Dodds got up. In a flat voice, as if she'd rehearsed it, she announced to the whole bus. "I need to use the restroom." "So do I," said Megaera. "So do I," said Tisiphone. They all started coming down the aisle. "I've got it," Annabeth said. "Percy, take my hat." "What?" "You're the one they want. Turn invisible and go up the aisle. Let them pass you. Maybe you can sneak past them," Annabeth said. Naruto took it. Thalia said. "Why would he?" Annabeth said. The four looked up to see all three Furies coming towards the before chains pre-iced them before turning into dust as the bus came out of the tunnel, only for it get rammed, sending Naruto flying out of side window. Naruto saw a blurry muscle-bound demon with 4 massive arms and a porcelain doll-like face that is actually the covering to its quad-lipped, viciously fanged mouth. Naruto laid on the pavement bleeding as the imprisoner charged at him before hitting him and sending him flying into the air, only hit to the ground hard. Naruto got to knees only for the demon to hit hard, sending him flying down the road. The imprisoner charged once again as 2 lightning bolts hit it, making fly over Naruto. Thalia stood holding her pistols only to collapse. Naruto watched her go down in slow motion as his heartbeat pulse in his ears. He fought through the pain as he appeared next to Thalia. "Naruto, how did I do?" Thalia asked. "You did wonderful, Haim," Naruto said. "Promise you'll put this beast down." "I promise," Naruto said. He walked towards the waiting imprisoner. He pulled its small brown pill one tossed at his mouth. His wounds healed as glass and rock fell from his body as purple smoke came off him, summoning his chains. The imprisoner charged Naruto jump over the demon, throwing his chains wrapped around the demon. Yanking on the chains, the demon flew into the air. He pulled out 2 oversized .22mm cannon pistols. "2. You fucked with the wrong people," Naruto said, shooting the imprisoner with several bullets as the tore through its flesh before falling to the ground in ashes, leaving behind porcelain mask. Naruto walked over and picked it up, tossed in his bag. He picked up Thalia when he spotted Percy, Annabeth and Grover running out with the last of passengers before the bus exploded. The 4 demigods and Satyr ran into woods as the rain poured down, leaving the flaming bus behind them. The 5 demigods walked through the woods along the New Jersey riverbank, the glow of New York City, making the night sky yellow behind us, and the smell of the Hudson reeking in our noses. Grover was shivering and braying, his big goat eyes turned slit-pupilled and full of terror. 3 kindly ones. All 3 at once. Prisai was pretty much in shock. The explosion of bus windows still rang in his ears. But Thalia, Annabeth and Naruto kept pulling him along, saying, "Come on. The farther away we get, the better." "All our money was back there," Grover reminded them. "Our food and clothes. Everything." "Well, maybe if you haven't noticed the fight." Naruto coughed, pulling out 5 bags. "Wah. How? I had Argus place sealed tags onto your guys' bags as he unloaded them, so that Thrillay would be sealed way into scroll, if ever got 5 feet from them, or if they were to be destered." Grover and Prisai felt better. "That's the last thing we need is us losing our supplies." Grover held his bag with tears as he tenderly rubbed it. "Daddy's got you." Naruto had shook his head. They sloshed across mushy ground, through nasty twisted trees that smelled like sour laundry. After a few minutes, Annabeth fell into line next to Prisai. "Look, her voice faltered. "I want to apologize for how I acted. We're a team, right?" She was silent for a few more steps. "Yes, but we're cool then," Prisai said. The thunderstorm had finally let up. The city glow faded behind them, leaving them in almost total darkness. Prisai couldn't see anything of Annabeth except a glint of her blonde hair. "You haven't left Camp Half-Blood since you were 7? Prisai asked her. "No. Only short field trips. My dad, the history professor. Yeah. It didn't work out for me living at home. I mean, Camp Half-Blood is my home." She was rushing her words out now, as if she were afraid somebody might try to stop her. "That camp you train. And that's all cool and everything, but the real world is where the monsters are. That's where you learn whether you're any good or not," Naruto said. "Sounds you know from," Prisai said. "The camp has been my home since I was 4, Naruto said. "Unlike Chiron prize pupils like Jason, Achilles and Heracles. I came see him as the father I never had." "Why? What happened to your dad?" "He was killed by King Arcadia." "King who?" Prisai asked. "The father of were hunters and the Arcadian animals." "What?" "Prisai going tell you there are things that the gods don't tell you, and one is that there are 3 things in this world that should never been born, and I'm one of them." "Like me?" "No, Poseidon would have only broke the oath after his baby brother broke it to save his ass." Prisai looked Naruto. "There's more than meets the eye. Prisai, the gods aren't telling you everything Chiron can't tell the camp as he's a trainer." "How do you know all this?" "2 of my mother's symbols are the sun and moon. Apollo and Atramis." Naruto nodded. After a mile or so, they started to see light up ahead. The colors of a neon sign. Prisai could smell food. Fried, greasy, excellent food. He realized he hadn't eaten anything unhealthy since Prisai arrived at Half-Blood Hill, where he lived on grapes, bread, cheese, and extra lean cut nymph-prepared barbecue. Prisai needed a double cheeseburger. They kept walking until they saw a deserted 2-lane road through the trees. On the other side was a closed-down gas station, a tattered billboard for a 1990s movie, and one open business, which was the source of the neon light and the good smell. That wasn't a fast food restaurant like he'd hoped. It was one of those weird roadside curio shops that sell lawn flamingos and wooden Indians and cement grizzly bears and stuff like that. The main building was a long, low warehouse, surrounded by acres of statuary. The neon sign above the gate was impossible for Prisai to read, because if there's anything worse for my dyslexia than regular English, it's red cursive neon English. To me, it looked like Antnumsgderan Gomen Meprum. "What the heck does that say?" Prisai asked. "I don't know," Annabeth said. She loved reading so much, he'd forgotten she was dyslexic, too. Naruto, Thalia and Grover translated. Auntie M's Garden Gnome Emporium. Flanking the entrance, as advertised, were 2 cement garden gnomes, ugly bearded little runts, smiling and waving, as if they were about to get their picture taken. Prisai then crossed the street, following the smell of the hamburgers. "Hey," Grover warned. Naruto shot a chain out of his left hand as it wrapped around Prisai before pulling him back towards them. The lights are on inside, Annabeth said. Maybe it's open, Thalia said. Snack bar, Annabeth said wistfully. Snack bar, both girls agreed. Are you too crazy? Naruto asked as released Prisai. What? Thalia said. This place is weird. She ignored and walked away with Grover, Annabeth and Prisai. Naruto began to walk as he coughed up a small bit blood. The blood sizzled like acid before evaporating into a mist. Damn it, Naruto said, passing out. The front lot was a forest of statues. Cement animals, cement children, even a cement satyr playing the pipes, which gave Grover the creeps. La ha ha, he bleated. Looks like my Uncle Ferdinand. The four stopped at the warehouse door. Don't knock, Grover pleaded. I smell monsters. Your nose is clogged up from the furies, Annabeth told him. All I smell is burgers, Prisai said. Aren't you hungry? Thalia asked. Meat, Grover said scornfully. I'm a vegetarian. You eat cheese, enchiladas and aluminum cans, Prisai reminded him. Those are vegetables, Grover said. The three demigods ignored the satyr. Let's leave. These statues are looking at me, Grover whined. Then the door creaked open, and standing in front of us was a tall Middle Eastern woman. She wore a long black gown that covered everything but her hands, and her head was completely veiled. Her eyes glinted behind a curtain of black gauze, but that was about all they could make out. Her coffee-colored hands looked young and well-manicured and elegant. Her accent sounded vaguely Middle Eastern, too. She said, Children, it is too late to be out all alone. Where are your parents? Grover spoke up. Waiting for us back at the camp. I see, just the four of you. Grover looked at the group as Naruto was missing before could say a word. Is that burgers I smell? Prisai asked, stopping Grover from speaking. Well, you four must be hungry. The woman said, Come in, and straight through to the back of the warehouse, please. There is a dining area. The warehouse was filled with more statues, people in all different poses, wearing all different outfits, and with different expressions on their faces. Prisai, Thalia and Annabeth didn't see any of this as they were thinking about food. Grover said reluctantly, We don't have any money, ma'am. Before Prisai could jab him in the ribs, Auntie M said, No, children. No money. This is a special case, yes. It is my treat for such nice kids. Thank you, ma'am, Annabeth said. Auntie M stiffened, as if Annabeth had done something wrong, but then the woman relaxed just as quickly. Quite all right, Annabeth, she said. You have such beautiful gray eyes, child. Their hostess disappeared behind the snack counter and started cooking. Before they knew it, she'd brought them plastic trays heaped with double cheeseburgers, vanilla shakes, and XXL servings of French fries. Outside of Medusa Lair, Naruto woke up to a young woman with long blonde hair, blue eyes, and a very fair complexion. Her clothing consists of black leather pants, high-heeled boots, a corset, double belts, a choker, and some kind of wrist accessory he could quite make out. So, what's my favorite, little ma? Tris, not now please, Naruto said, getting up. Anyway, what the fuck you do, peep on Sakurarino this time? No, side effect from the pill I took. Dumbass, you knew better than take it. Hello, I was thrown out of a bus when Imprisoner wanted to play around the bus, Naruto said. The two gone into the warehouse as a horde of lesser demons consisting of Stygians, Death Knights, Hell Knights and Frost Knights. Damn you and your devil's luck, Triss called to Naruto. Yeah, shut up and start killing. Thalia POV. 5 minutes earlier. I ate my fries as I noticed. Prisai was halfway through his burger. Annabeth slurped her shake while Grover picked at the fries, and eyed the tray's waxed paper liner, as if he might go for that, but he still looked too nervous to eat. What's that hissing noise? He asked. Prisai listened, but didn't hear anything. Annabeth shook her head. Hissing? Auntie M asked. Perhaps you hear the deep fryer oil. You have keen ears, Grover. I take vitamins. For my ears. That's admirable, she said. But please, relax. Auntie M ate nothing. She hadn't taken off her headdress, even to cook, and now she sat forward and interlaced her fingers and watched them eat. It was a little unsettling, having someone stare at me when I couldn't see her face, but I had a bad feeling. But didn't pay attention to Prisai, whom was feeling satisfied after the burger, and a little sleepy, and figured the least he could do was try to make small talk with the hostess. "So, you sell gnomes," he said, trying to sound interested. "Oh, yes," Auntie M said. "And animals. And people. Anything for the garden. Custom orders. Statuary is very popular, you know. A lot of business on this road. Not so much, no. Since the highway was built. Most cars, they do not go this way now. I must cherish every customer I get." My neck tingled, as if somebody else was looking at me. I turned, but it was just a statue of a young girl holding an Easter basket. The detail was incredible, much better than you see in most garden statues. But something was wrong with her face. It looked as if she were startled, or even terrified. "Ah," Auntie M said sadly. "You notice some of my creations do not turn out well. They are marred. They do not sell. The face is the hardest to get right. Always the face." "You make these statues yourself?" I asked. "Oh, yes. Once upon a time, I had 2 sisters to help me in the business, but they have passed on, and Auntie M is alone. I have only my statues. This is why I make them, you see. They are my company." The way she said that made Annabeth stop eating. She sat forward and said, "2 sisters. It's a terrible story," Auntie M said. "Not one for children, really. You see, Annabeth, a bad man wanted me when I was young. I had a mistress, you know, and this bad man was determined to have me, even I vowed to Mr. Estate pure. One day he and his brother came for me. My 2 sisters hid me. Mistress heard about the attack, was deeply saddened and angry, blinded by emotions. They shared my bad fortune as long as they could, but eventually they passed on. They faded away. I alone have survived, but at a price. Such a price. I wasn't for sure, but it sounded like her sisters were raped. Poor lady. Who would want to hurt somebody so nice?" "Percy," Annabeth said, "maybe we should go. I mean, our parents will be waiting." She sounded tense. I wasn't sure why, but a part of me was telling me to snap out of it. Grover was eating the waxed paper off the tray now, but if Auntie M found that strange, she didn't say anything. "Such beautiful gray eyes," Auntie M told Annabeth again. "My, yes, it has been a long time since I've seen gray eyes like those." She reached out as if to stroke Annabeth's cheek, but Annabeth stood up abruptly. "Sorry, but really we need to go." "Yes." Grover swallowed his waxed paper and stood up. "Our friends are waiting." "Right." Prisai didn't want to leave, and I couldn't shake this feeling something was wrong, like something or someone was missing. "Please, dears," Auntie M pleaded. "I so rarely get to be with children. Before you go, won't you at least sit for a pose?" "A pose?" Annabeth asked warily. "The photograph. I will use it to model a new statue set. Children are so popular, you see. Everyone loves children." Annabeth shifted her weight from foot to foot. "I don't think we can, ma'am." "Come on, Percy." "Sure we can," Prisai said. "It's just a photo, Annabeth. What's the harm?" "Yes, Annabeth," the woman purred. "No harm." I could tell Annabeth didn't like it, but she allowed Auntie M to lead us back out the front door, into the garden of statues. The sound of bullet cracked next to my ear before pre-icing a Ravager in the head, followed by sword. "Nice to see you, tree girl." The end. Now watch daily exclusive and censored lemon stories and mature content, along with NSFW images, featuring harem girls characters from the fics. Access all this and more on my Patreon. Click the link in the description to explore.